Alrighty, today is the day. We are diving into the full sound system install. I think the next day. So I still got all the stuff laid out here. One thing I did forget to get, but I may have some laying around, is 9-wire. Let me see if I have some I can show you real quick. If you don't know what that is, it's something that I use quite often, especially for these type of jobs. Probably gonna have to go get some. Yeah, I have to make a run and go get some in a minute. But anyway, what it's for basically is when you're adding an amplifier to your door speakers, instead of having to run an individual output from the amp to each speaker, I use 9-wire. And what I do is I attach it to the outputs behind the radio and run it to the back into the amp, and then I'll show you when that time comes. So, what? He's homesick from school. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you better run. Anyway, so he's sick, so I had to go pick him up from school, so he had to come to the shop. I was like, you're not going home to lay down and watch TV all day. You can sleep in the office. But anyway, we're gonna dive right into this thing. What I'm gonna do first is get the easy stuff out the way, which is installing the speakers. So we'll get these 4x6s in, and we will get these 6x9s in. Pretty easy job. I'm gonna take door panels off, unscrew the old ones, install the new ones, take the rear covers off, uninstall the old ones, put the new ones in. But with this car, we gotta do a little something extra to the rear, because he has a previous sound system in here. So somebody got a little creative with this. I mean, this is actually not a bad design or a bad idea per se. It's pretty cool, especially if you didn't want anything too crazy. It's a X-Max. It probably still works, but we're gonna be taking this out, and I actually have the old rear cover out of my car. I'm just gonna give it to him because I'm not using it. I have a custom rear deck, so we'll toss that in here. We'll get these covers off. Let's see what kind of speakers we got in here. Actually, let's see what type of equipment we're working with here. Oh, he's got some. These are 6.5s USD audio. Never heard of it. Comment if you heard of it. It's probably some old school stuff. So we'll get all this old stuff ripped out. I'm guessing it's the same thing in the front doors, maybe the same brand. And I know there's a Kenwood amp in the trunk. So we'll get all this ripped out and make room for the new stuff. All right, well, I thought I had hit the record button and I was doing a time lapse of me taking all this out. But I guess I did not. But anyway, so we got the cover off and all that. So looks like it's got a cool little box in here. And then these speakers are mounted very weirdly. So we're gonna get in the trunk. Looks like everything is mounted through the trunk and under the trunk, yeah. So a couple screws here and there. We'll get all these ripped off and get all this out. So maybe I'll start the time lapse now. I've taken all this out. We gotta empty the trunk out. Get the spare out. There's a random extra battery in here. Looks like that's the old amp. We'll test it, see if it's good. If he doesn't want it, we'll toss it on our shelf of all the other amps that we got sitting around. But we'll put all this in a box for him. We'll put it in that box. Get all this stuff in a box. We'll get the spare out the way. Because actually, now that I think about it, with that big box, the spare might not fit. So, but we'll get there when we get there. So let me get this cleaned out and we'll go from there. Now that we got the trunk cleaned out, now we got to get these speakers out of here. So, huh? No, I'm filming. That's my neighbor. He don't speak no English, and he always want to come over here and talk to me. He's good, man. Whenever I need a hand with something, pushing a car or lifting a transmission or something, man, they be eager to help. So I can't even be mad. that one's out. All right, let's move to the other side. Yeah, cute little speaker boxes. It's very different. This must have been done a long time ago. Because why didn't you just put some 6x9s in here? Yo no say. There's the other one. And this one don't want to fall. Just some more screws in here somewhere. Am I missing something? No, they all. All right, we'll look under there and see. And then this thing, I see two look like 10mm bolts right here and here, and a couple screws. So let's move this out of the way and see how we can get this thing out of here. There's a whole bunch of screws holding this stuff in. Look at that. A bunch of bolts and screws, and we'll just let it fall right out. Yeah, I see it moving a little bit. Let's see. Guessing there's another under there. Getting real hard to hold this and do this, but I'm gonna prevail for you guys. Okay, I'll be back. All right, got them all out. So just for the sake of curiosity, I just want to pull these out the boxes and see how they look. Especially this thing, it's interesting as hell. Wasn't too hard. One of them I just had to apply a little pressure when I was unscrewing it, and it dropped right out. And then which was this one, and then the middle box I just held it down and pushed down on those I pushed down the box and then screwed those big bolts, and it came right out. So I'm guessing they probably got some nuts or something in here, I guess, so nobody would steal it. But let's open them up and just, you know, take a look and see what kind of stuff we're looking at here. The sub I'm most interested to see, because I've never, oh yeah, just destroy the sub on the first. Not bad looking sub. Yeah. Oh wow. I bet you this thing still works. I don't see any other information about it. But it's oh, it's Phoenix Gold. Ooh, Phoenix Gold. Yeah, this is some good old school stuff. A little 10 probably not bad. Be pretty cool, somebody who doesn't want like a whole lot of bass, but this sub looks like probably too big for this box. And it's got, and it's ported. Oh my god, look at that. It's freaking ported. Wow. They really went to town with this thing. All right. Well, let's continue with the disassembly. Well, what do we have here? So, looks like this is a 5 1/4 speaker with a tweeter, and looks like a old school crossover. Well, weren't they fancy? All right, let's get this old stuff out. Looks like the factory wiring is still intact right here. Okay. Phoenix Gold Sapphire. And then look at the bolts that they use. They're not even screws. They're freaking Square, not even Allen keys. That is weird. 4-ohm 5-inch mid-range. Kind of gives us a little problem because now I'm missing the little pockets that the 4x6s sit in. So we got a couple options. Either we can upgrade him to 6.5s, or we can go to Ivan and get the little door pockets. But if I upgrade him 6.5s, then I have to rebuild. Then I have to build a template and all that stuff. So we'll have to see what's going to be the best course of action for that. All right, so we got both door panels off. What I'm going to do now is get the lower dash out, get the old radio out, so we can get all this old wiring out. I'm not going to be reusing any of this, especially the RCAs. I was looking and I was like, oh, these are, I saw an R and I was like, oh, these are Fosgate, Rockford Fosgate. Nah, fam, Radio Shack. So that's how old these RCAs are. So we'll get all this old wiring out and cleaned up. Try to clean it all up, see where it's run, because I'm replacing it with all, like I said, all Fosgate stuff. We got Fosgate RCAs, Fosgate power distribution blocks. You know, we're doing a full Fosgate sound system. And I am gonna go to Ivan and get the little pockets that I need for these 4x6s, just because I don't want to have to make brackets for the 6.5s. So I guess I could, but then I have to go buy 6.5. So either way, I got to leave the shop to do something. So just to keep it as, put it back to how it should be. And I mean, these sound great. I've used these in another car, especially coming from what he had. It's gonna be amazing. And then at some point we'll get him to upgrade the radio. But this is a really good unit though. The unit is definitely not from that time. This is a Kenwood Exelon. It's still got a CD player. It is an older one, but it's not like super old, and I think it still works. So it'll do what we need it to do. It's got Bluetooth, it's got Pandora, but it's got Bluetooth. So as long as it's a Bluetooth radio, it's got the phone thing, it'll be good enough to do what we need to do. And I do like Kenwood radios. Their audio settings in there are pretty advanced, and I like them. It's not like the old like JVCs where it's like bass up 1 2 3 4. You can actually go in and tune each frequency, which I like. So I think I'll be able to get this stereo dialed in really nice, and with those 212s, that nice big box. Actually, I need to test fit the box because of how deep it is. It may hit the hump, so I may need to make some stands for it. But I'm gonna do, actually, let me do that now, see how it fits. Okay, actually fits pretty good. So it doesn't move. I think what I may do is put some, it's got a little space on the corners here, so it rocks a little bit, but not enough to make a difference. I may put some L brackets in the front just to keep it from moving. And then I think what I'll do to really set this off is mount the amp rack right there. That way when you pop the trunk, you see the 12s, you see the amps, all the nice wiring run real nice and clean, instead of putting it up against the seat where I normally do. Since we can't put the spare in here anyway, I think it'll look good just putting it, you know, where you can actually see it. And then he'll have room on the sides to put stuff. But yeah, when you go big like this, no spare. I may take this back and see if he's got a black one. I don't really like this gray, so I may see if he's got a black box. Yeah, because it doesn't really match, you know. Let me see if he's got a black one. All right, we got the lower dash off, and this is kind of what I was afraid of. With these, when I get these cars with these older builds, with these stereos that were installed 10, 15, 20 years ago, back then they didn't have plug and play adapters to put aftermarket stereos in here. So what happens a lot of times is they go in and cut up the original harness to adapt everything in there, and then we end up with this. I hate that, you know, seeing that this stuff is really old. I'm guessing at the time they just didn't have the resources available to be able to use a plug and play adapter, instead of hacking up the main harness. So I like to start with everything stock, and then kind of go from there. So what I'm gonna do, like even here, they cut this and splice this into this. There's a, there's a harness for that. So I'm guessing just, it was so long ago, they just didn't have it available to them. I'm gonna give whoever installed this the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it was some good stuff for back then, but we got to bring this thing up to the new millennium. So yeah, and then somebody else came in, because I know this stereo is pretty new. Not pretty new, but let's see, what's the date on this? Oh, there's no sticker. But I'm guessing this stereo is from, the last, it's got 3 pre-outs, so I'm guessing maybe from the last 5-6 years. So whoever replaced the radio that was in here just went ahead and just spliced into the old stuff. So I'm gonna go to Ivan now, grab what I need from the look who calling me, LS Swap Guru.
What's up with you, buddy?
Man, shit, filming.
What's happening with you, Loco? You good?
Yeah, man, filming.
Oh shit, my bad, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You good? You good?
Get back when you free.
No, you good. I'm finna take this call. Just, you know what I'm saying? You say what's up to the people.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm live, baby.
You live.
What's up, my people? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy OTG, my cousin.
All right, y'all. Let me holler at my cousin real quick. I'll be back. All right, we out here at Ivan's. I was on the phone with Guru, and so we out here. He's not even here. Like, as I'm driving down his street, I see him with the tow truck going the other way. So he was like, man, just go in there and get what you need. So I'm at my own personal Impala pull apart. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even bring no tools, because I thought he was gonna have the stuff already out for me. So we're gonna grab this. We're just working with some basic tools right now. So we're gonna go on and grab this harness. Right. I'm actually gonna take the whole thing, because might as well grab both sides. But we'll solder back on this part. Ow! And this should just pull. See how short they cut it? I hate that. But it's cool. We can make it work. We can make it work. We can make it work. It ain't too bad. Better than what we got. All right, so that's what we need right here. So that's that. Boom. All right, now we need the speaker pods. Boom, there's one. One there, so we got that one. And I think there's another one on this door. Yep. All right, let me turn this door around. We're gonna keep the screws, because we're gonna need those. All right, I really don't need these stock speakers, so we go. All right, we got what we need. We can get up out of here, because we got to go to Randy, pick up a transmission. All right, so we are good. That's exactly what we need. So yeah, man, y'all don't get scammed, man. Ivan Andrews, Impala SS Parts on Instagram. Try to rip my shirt. See, he got all these Impalas out here, man. All these Impalas. So this is one of the trusted sellers out here. I wonder if that flywheel will work for that truck that I got. All right, but yeah, one of the more trusted sellers, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we at. I'm gonna ask him if I got this flywheel, because I need one for that Silverado, and I think it's the same flywheel. I think it'll work. It's a 350 going behind a 4L60, so I think that flywheel will work. It ain't cracked or nothing, so I'll check it, but it should work. But yeah, man, hit him up. I'll put the link in the description for his stuff. All right, man, so we're back at the shop. We got this thing pretty much disassembled. I'm gonna end the video here because it's getting kind of long. I wanted to do also me pulling out all the old wiring and stuff, but we'll pick that up in part 2. Pulling all the old wiring out and all that good stuff. And then we'll start with putting in the speakers, fixing the radio wiring, running all our new wires and everything like that. I spoke to my sound guy about the box. I didn't really like the color. He said the other option we can go is a Q-Bomb, which is like one of those black Rhino line boxes, but he said it won't give me the same sound. And I really want this to have some nice deep bass since we're running some lower power speakers. So I'd rather have the sound over the looks. And with the amp rack back there, I may just try, I got some fabric paint back there. I may just hit it with some black fabric paint. No, we'll see. But I'm going to end the video here, and I will see you guys in part 2 or 3, depending on how long it actually is once I start editing. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but either part 2 or 3, whatever part it is, I will see y'all there.